complement the foot in the door technique, you can use another principle called diminishing sensitivity. This principle refers to the subjective difference between the way people evaluate products or offers. Specifically, the higher the prices of the products compared, the lower is perceived the price difference and the easier it is to upsell the more expensive product. Okay, this statement can be confusing, so let me give you an example provided by Daniel Kahneman. The subjective difference between $900 and $1,000 is much lower than the subjective difference between $100 and $200. In other words, you perceive the $200 price to be much more expensive than the $100 price. In fact, this is double the price. However, when the product costs $1,000 versus $900, then the $100 difference doesn't seem that large anymore. As a customer yourself, you experience this principle all the time. Just consider buying a suit, for example. I recently entered the shop having a set budget in mind. I looked around and found a suit within my budget, but then I noticed another one. I really love this suit and it was priced at only £35 more. I decided to buy it even though the £35 gap took me over my maximum budget. Ultimately, given the high cost of the suit, £35 did not seem that much anymore. From another perspective though, price levels don't always reflect quality. In fact, marketers always leverage price psychology to manipulate people's expectations. Many experiments have shown that people use price as an indication of quality. This is not a surprise, of course. However, in an experiment described by Leigh Caldwell in her book The Psychology of Price, a bottle of wine was presented first as $40 bottle and then as a $7 bottle. In the end, people perceive the $40 wine as better than the $7 wine, even though, as I mentioned already, it was the exact wine. This actually reminds me of the famous Benny Hill salad gig. The bold client complains, Benny Hill goes back to the bin, gets a piece of the salad, drops it on the plate and goes back to the table. The client is now super happy. Funnily enough, in the wine experiment, the fMRI studies carried out throughout the experiment found that the part of the brain associated with sensing pleasure experienced more intense activation when people believed the wine was more expensive. So, just to emphasize this point, it is not only that we are biased in our thinking, but our senses too perceive the so-called more expensive wine as being better. Now, how crazy is that? Of course, sometimes price sensitivity can be an issue. So, how do we tackle that? Well, marketers use another brilliant trick in encouraging the purchase of more expensive products. And the winner is monthly rates. Look, monthly rates are one of the smartest inventions marketing has ever seen. First, by deferring payment over a period of time, you reduce the perceived risk and cost. It seems cheaper and more manageable than a bigger upfront payment. Second, you are increasing the overall price of the product. For example, in another experiment described by Leigh Caldwell, people were willing to pay up to 50% more for a product when they were allowed to defer payment over a longer period. This principle is called the hyperbolic effect. Third, you can more easily offer upsells, which of course can be made available at a low monthly rate. And fourth, the customer is primed to buy again or upgrade at the end of the agreement. Okay, thank you for watching. We're stopping here, but I will see you soon.